If you're developing a full stack Next.js application and you are looking for a CMS that can manage almost every single possible thing related to your Next.js application. So this CMS can actually manage every single possible thing related to your Next.js application, from users management to maybe like admins management, or maybe like file management and media management. Every single possible thing you can do with this CMS. The name of this amazing CMS is Payload CMS, and this is completely open source and absolutely for free to use. By using this amazing CMS, full stack development in Next.js becomes super fun. In this video, I'll give you a detailed step-by-step guide that how you can set up this CMS on your computer and then start developing on top of it. I'll guide you to set up database and all of the prerequisites that you need to run and install this CMS locally on your computer. This video is going to be probably the only complete video that gives a complete step-by-step guideline from installing prerequisites to like setting up database to running this CMS locally on the computer, every single thing in one single video. This video is going to be like the only single video that guides you each and everything about this CMS. So before we start, please do not forget to subscribe this YouTube channel. Our goal is to reach 100,000 subscribers before June 30th, 2025. Alright, first thing that you need to do is just go to Google and look for Payload CMS. So as soon as you write this on Google, you will find this website, payloadcms.com. Just open this, and this is our amazing CMS, and it has like everything set up, everything for us. So what we need to do, so we need to just like download it and install it on our computer. To do that, what we need to do, we need to just like go to this GitHub repository and then just open this documentation folder, documentation tab on Payload CMS website. So on this documentation tab, there is like a detailed step-by-step documentation to set up this, but there are a few things that I need to guide you before you can actually start like using Payload CMS. So first that we need to do is actually you need to understand that you need to run this CMS locally. You need to have something installed on your computer. So because we'll be using MongoDB database, MongoDB is just like it's a database platform. So we need to have MongoDB downloaded on your computer, locally on your computer, because we'll be testing this like CMS locally on your computer. We'll be creating a database locally on your computer. So that's why you need to install MongoDB before we install this CMS. So to download and install MongoDB, you need to just like go to Google, look for DB and download. Just look for MongoDB download, and you will find this URL, the first URL, and then simply just click on this download button. Make sure that if you're on Windows, choose Windows. If you're on Mac, choose Mac. Whatever your system you're using, and either use MSI or use zip. So simply just click on download button. Simply just click on this button, and then what it will do, it will actually start downloading this. I have already downloaded that. This is how it looks like once it will be downloaded on your computer. You simply then just click on like double click on this, and just like make sure that you just like click next, and use the default selected options. Do not change anything. Just use the default selected options on your MongoDB setup. So make sure that you have done that. Once it is done, once you have installed that, next thing now is to download and install this Payload CMS on your computer. For that, we'll be using, either you can use PowerShell on your computer, or you can use like a CMD command line on your computer, or if you're on Mac, you just use terminal. Or the easiest and best way to use is actually just to use your code editor. If you're going to use Visual Studio, just use like the built-in Visual Studio code editor, but in our case we'll be using Cursor. And if you're using like something like I don't know, like Windsurf, just use like the built-in Windsurf terminal inside Windsurf or inside Cursor. So because I'll be using Cursor, so process is exactly same for Windsurf, or if you just want to use like PowerShell. So what we're gonna do, we can just like open Cursor. Let me just come here. Let me just click on open folder, file, open folder, just open folder, and then let's just I have like created a lot of test folders. So let me just name it as payload test. I'll just create a folder anywhere on your computer, name it anything, and then open that. Simply click on select folder. Once you have done that, simply just like now right there inside Cursor. So simply just click on these two top right buttons. Simply just click on these two buttons, and next thing that we're gonna do is we are here, we are inside the terminal. Next thing that we're not gonna do is actually run a command in here inside the terminal. So sorry, actually I'm just like explaining it like for absolutely beginners. So if you already know about all of these things, if you're a developer already, you don't need to like do this like step-by-step process. You need to directly, what you need to do is just go to their page. So let's suppose if you're on payloadcms.com and then click on this GitHub icon in here, and then right here you are on their GitHub page. While you are on your GitHub page, what you need to do, first thing that you need to do is you need to run the installation command. The installation command is pnpx create payload app at latest. Here is a confusion that you can actually stuck while installation. If you're going to do this installation by yourself without my following this video, so you're actually going to face a lot of issues, because on Payload website, on Payload CMS website, there is this like installation guideline, and in here there is this command which is given npx create payload app latest. For some reason there is an error, always an error to run whenever I like try to install using this command. They might have resolved it by the time you watch this video, but what is working right now is rather than using npx or rather than using npm, we'll have to use pnpx or maybe pnpm. So we have to use this pnpx, which is given on your GitHub repository. You can use, I mean, you can just follow the documentation, but just follow my guideline if you not just save your time. So just use pnpx. I'm just don't go in details. Just use pnpx. Just use this command as it is. Copy it and then let's just paste it as it is in here. And now what we're gonna do, this is what it will show. I'm not sure if it is hidden behind my profile picture. All right, I'm just yeah. So I think you can see now. Perfect. All right, so let's just name our project. So let's just name our project as Payload CMS test 5, because I think I did first 4 tests. So let's just do test 5, and then let's just start with a blank template website, with an absolutely blank website. So let's just click on blank, and next thing is actually selecting a database. You can either use MongoDB as I guided you to do that, or you can use something like PostgreSQL, or you can maybe go with SQLite, or maybe you can use something like Vercel Postgres. If you're gonna go with any of these Postgres options, Vercel Postgres has a separate like a way to like create the Postgres you can say URL or a database URL for that. SQLite has a separate like way to create that, but we'll be using MongoDB. So I'm actually going to guide you that how you can create an actual production ready MongoDB URL, or you can simply just create a test local database URL. Don't worry about that. Let me just click on this option. Let's just click on the first option. So I'll just do that. So this URL right here is our local database URL because we have already installed environment variables and everything is set up like locally on our computer. So now MongoDB should run locally on our computer, and this is the MongoDB URL. All right. So you don't need to worry about anything. Just make sure that you have installed Mongo locally on your computer. So just click on next after that, and once you do that, now it will just start installing dependencies. It takes some time to install dependencies. By the time it is doing that, now I'm actually going to guide you about MongoDB. So simply just MongoDB is like a database platform. So you need to go to MongoDB and just sign up. You can sign up for free. There is, I think you can create one cluster for free on MongoDB. So if you want to like, let's suppose if you have like built everything, like you have set up your CMS, you have like set up everything. Now you just want to like deploy it and publish it anywhere, wherever you want. And you just want to like use this like set up your database and everything. So you're using, let's suppose you're using MongoDB. So do that is simply just like sign up for MongoDB using your Google account. I have already signed up for that. So that's why I'll just sign in on MongoDB on my account. So I'll just do that. And next thing that you can do, you can just create a cluster inside MongoDB. What is a cluster? Consider like just if you have used Supabase, if you have watched any of our previous tutorials about Supabase, so cluster is just like creating a project inside like Supabase. Simply just it's the same concept. There's nothing different in that. So you simply just click on create a cluster. These are like different projects. So you simply just create a cluster, and it will ask you to like now choose either you're gonna go with AWS or whatever you're gonna use, wherever location you're gonna do. You just simply just click on next, and then just simply create a cluster. Go with shared. Maybe shared will be very cheap. Even if you are going to pay, even if you have multiple projects, so only then you'll have to pay. So it will cost you around $8.99 per month, which is like super cheap when it comes choosing maybe Supabase or something else. But if you are going to create your first project, MongoDB is absolutely free for you. So let's just go with one of these options, I think. Yeah, so you can simply just click on create cluster, and it will give you this shared RAM, 2 GB of storage, which is more than enough for you to have a startup a startup project. So that option, I have already created that cluster, and then it will just give you a MongoDB string, a MongoDB URL. Where we have to use that, what we're gonna do with that, I'll guide you in a minute. So let's get back to our cursor, and then see it is still installing dependencies. By the time it is doing that, next thing that I'm gonna guide you, once you have created your cluster, your MongoDB cluster, next thing that will have to do is actually now you need to connect that your MongoDB cluster with your project, and for that it will provide you with the MongoDB URI, and you just need to provide that with inside your project. So right now I have just one cluster. So yeah, so you can just simply as soon as you create that, it will give you URL for that. Hold on, I'm just asking for just do the free tier. It will actually give you, because once you have a one cluster only, it will actually give you an option to create a MongoDB URI. How does it look like? I'm just give you that MongoDB URI format. So while you will create that cluster, this is how this is how that format will look like, and then you'll have to actually replace the database username with that, and then password that we will actually create that inside this cluster, inside this inside this MongoDB URL. Yeah, so database username will be already set up, and then you can just replace the password part with your actual password, that whatever you will set, you can just replace that and then copy it from here, and then it's set up inside your environment variables. Similarly, if you're going to use Supabase, so you can just use a Postgres URL for Supabase. So there's a separate video about Supabase, but if you just wanna let me just give you a quickly short guide about so just use Supabase, sign up for that, create an empty project, and then just this one actually that I created, and then as soon as you create an empty project inside Supabase, it will just give you all of these API keys and all of these anon key and project URL and everything. So you'll just have to copy the Postgres URL from here and then paste it inside our cursor project. So since we have now installed this in here, you will see the best thing about this is it has everything set up for us. So just go to your .env file, and you will find a database URL here. MongoDB local database URL is set up here, and payload secret key setup. Everything is set up right now for us. We don't need to literally do anything. What we need to do right now is just move to this directory. Right now we are inside payload test directory. We need to just move to this directory. It has given that guideline as well. We need to just go to cd and then move to directory. Simply just copy this cd command, paste it here, and enter here. So now we are done with that. Now next thing that we need to do is pnpm, and then just write dev, pnpm dev, just simply write that. And now what it will do, it will just run this project locally on our computer. So now our project is running on our local host and localhost 3000. So I'll just click on that, open this localhost 3000 inside your computer, localhost 3000. So to open the admin panel for that, you can simply just /admin. So localhost 3000 /admin, just write that inside your browser, and now it will just open that for us. So right now it will be compiling. I think it will take a minute just to compile this. All right, here. So it has compiled that, and you can see it has opened this page for us, localhost 3000 /admin /create first user. So now you can just create your first user. That means your database is set up. That means your project is running absolutely fine. You can now start creating your user and start modifying your project as you want. So first thing that I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna create my first username and password. So I'll just create a test password. All right, I'll just create that, and now I'm here, right here inside my admin panel. Right here I'm here. So you can see this has like two collection types. This has like users types. So you can create a new user in here. Let's suppose you're running maybe a SaaS application, or maybe like, I don't know, any sort of like application, and you want to do like user management. So you can do it directly in here inside your CMS. You can do anything that you want. Create a new user, create a new password, or delete a user if there are any users in there. You just like, you can filter any users from here. And then if you're just gonna like upload maybe an image, so you can simply just do that by simply clicking on new media. So you can like manage all of these files right inside your CMS. That's fine. I'll just give it that. So it has no like uploaded my first image in here. So you can like do like manage media, like if you, let's suppose if you know like host your images somewhere, and then you're gonna fetch that somewhere, you can do all of that. Even you can like use your own API key and then like fetch this data anywhere. Let's suppose if you're using the front end, like if you're building a front end of your application, like a front end dashboard for your application, you wanna fetch this data in that front end dashboard application, you can simply just do that by using like, now this is your backend admin panel that you're building. Now you can just like add any type of like this collection type of data. You can like add maybe like whatever you want. Like let's suppose let's just go back to their documentation. Now let's just go back to the documentation, which is here, and in here you can see, so in here they have covered this, what is payload, and this like basic introduction about payload. And next it actually guides you about what sort of like you can like maybe do a digital assets management. You can do like a headless e-commerce, or maybe like you're running a e-commerce store with thousands of projects, like thousands of products in there. You can do all of that right inside your CMS. So you can create like different kind of collection types. You can, I don't know, like you can create anything in here, like whatever kind of data that you want to like store, whatever you want to do, you can just simply just do that in here without any problem. So you can just like go through this documentation and like implement whatever you want, and then even simply just ask cursor that I want to add like new collection types. So these are actually collection types: users, media, maybe like now add admins or whatever you want to add, just add that, and then it will just like do that. And these are the collection types in here inside your source directory. Inside your source there is a collection, there is a media and user only, and then now you can ask cursor to like add a new collection type for you, and it will just create a new collection type for you, and that collection type will be added now in here. So you can see there was a sample in here. So there is a array field, there's a blocks field, there's a code field, someone actually has added in that. There is a numbers field, there's a points field, there's a row field, groups field. So each field actually have then like certain collections in there. So you can just like add whatever you want, any sort of data that you want to store, that whatever, it totally depends on what sort of like product you are developing. With Payload CMS, now you can like do anything. The good thing about now it is that you can now deploy this project anywhere that you want. You can deploy this maybe like if you want on Vercel, like, or maybe on Netlify, or if you have like a VPS server, you can deploy this on VPS server. If you want to deploy this on I don't know, like AWS, just you can deploy it anywhere you want. It won't cost you anything. There is no API key that is required to like deploy this. There is zero cost to deploy this like Payload CMS. So like you got the complete CMS functionality at zero cost. So this is the best thing about this. So yeah, this is really amazing. That I was super like impressed by this product actually. And they have recently launched version 3.0, and like they offer like so many features. Just go to their website, explore their features if you want to like explore further about this CMS. And if you have any like further questions about this, just let us know. There are different templates that you can actually use. There are like front-end templates, and there are like other website templates that you can actually like use what they have already built. Then there is like multi-tenancy features. There is a white labeling feature. There is a localization features, access control features. I mean, whatever you want to build with this CMS, doesn't matter how complex products you're building, you can build everything with this CMS, and all of that zero cost. I mean, literally this is just like amazing, and just like really impressive. So I hope you really liked this video. If you have any further questions, just to leave a comment in the comment section. If you want any like further help related to the CMS, just leave a comment section. Or if you want me to like make another like video about this topic, just to let me know. I'll just like create a video about that. And if you have any sort of like project in your mind that you want to develop and you want just our help, so just to book a schedule a meeting on Calendly, and then like explain what you want to like discuss about, what you want to talk about, and then we can actually talk about in detail. I see you next video. Bye bye.